Soldiers! Everyone!
The Jerogan.
Though, which I'm very happy with myself. And I've also upgraded some of my horsemen to absolute, but who cares? No, actually, I need to collect my army here. Join my army, brothers. Come on, we need more men. Now there's only 612 defenders. You know what? I'm just going to siege their castle and see what happens. We're going to have to create a bigger army here. Everyone needs to bloody join this battle. Some people are 4 days away, but no matter. They can make that walk. They can make that sacrifice for the greater good. This army is 2,000 people strong. I believe that should be enough. Jesus Christ, I've broken the game. My army is too strong. The developers just didn't realize that something in strong. However, they cannot muster enough chasing after them. Oh god, that looks like a scary battle. Hopefully none of the other things like... Yeah, Joron of the Southern Empire has been taken prisoner by the Forest Bandits. Wait, that's not us though, is it? I'm not a Forest Bandit. And those men have also joined my army. This is going to be the most bloody battle ever, my friends. We need to speed up the game so we can finish our siege equipment here, while the rest of my army comes and joins us on the battlefield. I don't know if the AI are planning to attack. Trebuchet is built, and then we can begin this battle, brothers. Alright, battle brothers, we are ready to begin this siege. And my god, am I excited. We have 1,231 men against their 673. Let us lead the assault. The ultimate assault on the Western Empire. Have you ever seen so many men in one place? Look at this guy. There are so many men that they are even standing on the roofs of our storage unit here. Okay, let's inspect the battlefield, brothers. We have our siege engine that's going to be going right up to the front gates here, and our siege tower, which will be flanking around to the right-hand side where there's a gap in the wall there, and the left siege hand tower will be doing the same. I'm ready to begin the assault. We have a lot of men here. Hopefully the FPS will be good. It looks okay. I can already see men on the walls taking position there. I'm going to go ahead and move up on the left-hand flank and try and take some pot shots at the archers. Let me get off my horse. There's a lot of men. A lot of arrows are coming down on me. Look at this guy over here. He's
welcome
already
back
dead.
to another Mountain Blade through Bannerlord video. Today I want to talk about my personal mod list I use when playing the game. Some of you asked for this, so here we go. I played the game single player mode for roughly 140 hours now. And there are some things that aren't quite ironed out, which can be really frustrating. But thankfully, the gift of heaven. Modders are already going crazy, fixing everything they can, and also adding new things that will be implemented officially in the future. All the mods you're going to see in this video are tested on the latest beta branch version, which is during the recording of the video E110. And now, without further ado, here we go with my personal top mod list for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord beta branch E110. And the first mod isn't really a mod, but more like a fix for the game launcher, called Fixed Launcher by Fumble. Currently, before you start modding the game, this is a must-have fix, otherwise some might experience crashes. What this fix does is what the title already implies. Fix the game launcher, since the original does not order mods properly, which can be crucial to the functionality of mods. The first real mod in this list is the Detailed Character Creation mod by Travis Stewart. I already talked about this one in one of my previous mod videos, and I still use it to this day. The title is self-explanatory. The mod enables many more sliders to the character creation screen, giving you more freedom while creating your banner boy. The author also added the ability to edit the appearance of companions and NPCs. Now you can truly live out your Lord of the Rings fantasy in the world of Caradia. Ability to edit the appearance of by Fumble. Currently, before you start modding the game, this is a must-have fix, otherwise some might experience crashes. What this fix does is what the title already implies. Fix the game launcher, since the original does not order mods properly, which can be crucial to the functionality of mods. The first real mod in this list is the Detailed Character Creation mod by Travis Stewart. I already talked about this one in one of my previous mod enables many can truly live out your Lord of the Rings fantasy and make battles much more interesting. The first one is called Hearth Rebalance by Keepstar, which doubles the hit points of the player and every NPC to make armor, combat skill and tactics matter more while reducing the deadliness of ranged weapons. The mod comes in different flavors. I used the Health Rebalance Module 50 flavor, which increases the hit points from 100 to 150. The second mod is called Armor Does Something by Garantle. In vanilla, blunt and piercing damage ignore a huge amount of armor. Like the author says, that's fine if you're getting hit with a sledgehammer to the head, or if 2 tons of steel and muscle are driving a lance through you at 30 miles per hour, but arrows lasering through steel plate like it's butter is not fine. This mod changes most range and shield bash damage types to no longer ignore massive. Next up we have the Banner Peasants mod by Apastron 152E9, which I also talked about in a recent video. The mod adds banners for troops on the battlefield. The author 1 banner per 50 soldier. There is not much of battle. Siege Tower and Castle Stairs fix. What a name. By Jack the Biatch, which makes NPCs fight each other with a reasonable spacing between them. Now your troops actually have some kind of weight and presence, as you can see in the footage. Before you can zip through your units like they're made of butter, as you could see in some of my previous videos. And many people didn't like how you could phase through your troops like you were a ghost. With this mod installed, this changed it, and I have to say that I really like this change. Maybe make the space a tad stop with, which I roll by pressing that really adds the next mods I want to talk about, which is Banner Faction Color Enabler in conjunction with Banner Editor Enhancer. The first one, like I edit, then the Next up we have Noble Nobles by Klepta, which touches up almost every NPC in the game. The mod also has had everyone's hate and build fixed to be more consistent and realistic, so yeah, can't say much about this one, except that the changes are not too far from what the devs have envisioned the nobles to look like. The next mod I want to talk about is Loot Lord by Super, which I also talked about before, which makes lords simply drop their gear when executed. Though I've made a small change to the Loot Lord config.xml file. Greetings everyone.
18K, wait, 16, wait, I'm at 16K viewers now? Nuh-uh. No, what? No, guys, this is bullshit. Just a minute, I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, what? 15K? No, man! What the fuck? Wow. What a shit. God damn it, man. Shadowlands is dead. I can't believe it. We had a good try. It was a good run, boys, but Shadowlands is finally fucking dead. Let's see. Wait, I'm down at 7K? 14K? Oh my god, dude. Wow. Wait, now how many? 13K! Okay, alright, you know what? Should we just watch this go all the way down? This is insane. Lyrics at 8K. Trains at 2K. Tally 1K. Method 171. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, wait, 12K. No! Oh my god. What's going on? Oh my god, man. This is so bad. Is this coronavirus? Tim at 60K? Yeah, but how many did he lose? I don't know how many he had before. 10K. Is this gonna be it? Is this it, boys? Is this it, guys? Are we going all the way down to, are we gonna go under 10K? Is it over? Is it finally over? 10.8K. We had a good run, guys. We had a really good run. No, man. Twitch isn't gonna take me down to 0, are they? Twitch, you better don't you take me down to 0. Don't you take me down to fucking 0. Don't you fucking take me to 0. They're gonna put me down to fucking 0. I'm at 8K Andy. Wow. Streamers to leave, they pay the individual viewers. They're like, hey man, we'll give you $100 if you just watch our. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is. There's no way I'm gonna go under 6K, man. Tally at 800. Train at 1.6. Tim just lost 10,000 viewers. This is the end of the. Where's Method? 71! I'm at 4K! $4K Andy. The real view. That's my real view count, guys. The end is here, guys. Who was here? We're down to 3. We're down to 3, guys. All right, guys. It was a pleasure. We've had a good run here on Twitch. No one was here. Yeah, no one was here. Oh my god, dude. What is going on? What is going on? I don't know. This is insane. 1 point. No, man. Is my stream literally gonna... my stream's about to die. Oh no. 1.7 thousand viewers. Tim has lost 30,000 viewers. Look at this. Where am I? I'm not even on here. 467. 467. I think that's all the view bots, guys. No, man. No. No, they're gonna. My viewers can't go negative, right? Call me Goose Egg Andy. Zero fucking viewers. Like, there's no. They're gonna take me down to fucking. Like, Meth, this is insane. This isn't what I meant by a death roll. Like, I didn't mean for them to death roll with my viewers. This is not. I mean, listen, I knew that it was getting kind of boring doing the jumps, but damn, guys. God damn, this is. Wow. Is this what I got? It's Caterino's Revenge. I need to make an OnlyFans now. Annie's beating me in viewers. Oh. Okay. Let's go with that one. 6K. 6K, boys. Let's see here. Do you think it'd be smart to remove view count for viewers and only let the streamers see? That way people would only watch based on quality of stream. In a vacuum, that sounds like a good idea, but the problem with that is that it's very hard for people to find things. 7K? Yes, dude. Yes, dude. Now I don't have to think of an excuse for having to leave today. This is the new record. Fuck yes. Okay, all right. Are we rising? It's at 6K now. Should we do an event whenever I hit? I should do like some sort of like a thank you to everybody whenever we finally hit 10K, dude. Do death rolls. Blizzard's Twitch is doing that with my viewer count. They're doing that right now with me. Yeah, dude. Are we really gonna hit the 5 digits, dude? Cry on stream. Face reveal at 10K, man. This is it, guys. This is it. 9.4K. There's no way, dude. Am I gonna hit it? Come on, 10K, boys. 10K, let's hit 10K. My viewers are being pulled out of the Shadowlands. This is the redemption arc right here. Come on.
Experience.
Well, you've done underwater exploration as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have you done there?
I lived for 2 weeks in the bottom of the sea.
Oh, Jesus. I get weirded out. I get weirded out just you saying that. 2 weeks at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah.
How deep?
It was exactly 20,000 millimeters under the sea. It was about 60 feet, which works out to be about...
Oh, only 60 feet? That's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't freak me out too much. I thought you were going to say like miles.
No.
I'd start panicking.
No, it's about 60 feet. But the cool thing was we stayed there for weeks.
Wow.
Now, if you're normally scuba diving and you go down 60 feet, you have 60 minutes, and then you got to come back up, or you get too much nitrogen in your blood and you're going to get bent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a problem if you just stay. The problem is then if you stay, you build up all that nitrogen in your blood. Now you can't go back up. So like if you run out of air or you lose sight of your buddy or something, you can't go to the surface because within a couple hours you'll be dead.
Wow.
So you have to stay down there. And we use cave diving techniques that we did a lot of training for to be safe. And we had redundant tanks, redundant manifolds, redundant regulators, and we had valves that we can flip around so we can always make sure we can get air without ever having to, in an emergency, ever having to come up, because coming up is not an option.
So how do you eventually get out?
It's a freaky thing. It takes about a day. And what you do is you take, so we're living in this habitat, and it was kind of like a submarine on the bottom of the ocean, but it didn't have a motor, so it was just like stuck on the floor, like a big cylinder. And it had a hole cut in the side here, and the only thing that was keeping the ocean out was the air pressure inside.
Whoa.
Kind of like taking a cup and flipping it over, putting it in a bathtub and trapping the air.
Oh, God.
And you just scuba dive on down, and then you swim into that thing, and then once you pop up in that hole, it's like you're in a swimming pool inside the habitat, and then you just step out into the habitat.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen the movie The Abyss?
Yes. It's like that.
It's like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
How accurate is that movie?
I think what's the Navy SEAL in there? He gets like
Yeah, it's crazy from the
gets
bends.
like what do they call it? Deep dementia or something?
Yeah. Is that fake?
Yeah, that's fake.
Goddamn Hollywood. So this process of getting back to surface level, how long? You said it takes a day. What do you have to do?
So what you do is you close up that hole and you convert the habitat into a pressure chamber. And what you do is you very, very slowly bring the pressure back to sea level. So you decrease the pressure and you slowly, as if you're slowly going up in the water column. And then as you do it gradually, the nitrogen slowly comes out of your blood, and you can feel it kind of tingles.
Oh, wow.
Over the course of a day. You try to lie still in your bunk and just like read a book or something, but you feel like this tingling. And then after about a day of that, they get you all the way back to sea level slowly so that the nitrogen, you know what it is? It's like if you take a can of soda and you shake it up, if you open the top quickly,
Right.
But if you open the top really slowly, and you let it slowly come out, you don't get all the bubbles.
Right.
It's that same effect.
Ah, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Oh. What's freakier, being at the bottom of the ocean or being up in space?
Up in space is more surreal. Yeah, because the floating, the earth out the window, the views are better. But being down there was pretty wild too. I remember once we were doing this experiment where I had my crewmate and I had an ultrasound. And we're doing this telemedicine experiment. So there were these docs in Houston looking at the screen, but there's a delay. And I'm supposed to find her kidney. And I'm like searching around for a kidney. And then I look up and I look out the window and I see a 6-foot hammerhead shark right out the window. And we have a guy in the water. And I dropped a giant F-bomb. Like, fuck! You know. And all the docs in Houston are freaking out. They're thinking like in a moment they're going to see her liver explode on the screen or something. And they're like, what's that? How's the patient? I'm like, patient's fine. Got a 6-foot hammerhead out the window.
Yeah, that's got to be really weird, right? You're in that thing, in their world. For how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So is that the weirdest animal that you saw, is the hammerhead?
The scariest thing I saw was one night I was taking a dump. This is a true story. The way you do this, okay, number one, you just pee in the pool, okay? But if you have to go number two, you go into the pool, because you don't want a floater in your pool, right? That's
Of course.
like Caddyshack. You don't want that.
Right.
So what you do is you don't take a tank. You just take your mask and your fins. And you go down.
Naked?
You can. We had a mixed gender crew, so I wore some trunks, but you know. And then you just go down. And you have to swim, I don't know, it's like maybe 10, 15 feet. It's not that far. and there's what we call the gazebo, which is just a little dome that has air inside. Now you're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, like with no tank, and you're 60 feet down. It's night. You can't see a thing. You're alone in the ocean, but you can see this little gazebo. You swim to that. You pop in, and then you got air, just some valves. You let in some fresh air, and then you hold on, and you take off your trunks, and you just let it rip. But the problem is the fish get accustomed to this.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So they go there knowing that you're going to poop.
As soon as you drop in the water at night, it's like the dinner bell going off. And
Oh,
there's like school. Yeah, because this is feeding time.
Whoa. And so you feel them like
Yeah.
pecking at the back door?
The worst are the angelfish because that shape, they can get like right up in there.
Oh,
it's like not cool.
boy.
So you take your fin off and you're like whacking them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that's all bad enough, but as you're doing that, and you're in the pitch black Atlantic Ocean, 60 feet down, no scuba tank.
At night.
At night, with the sound of the ocean like lapping against the dome, and you're looking down, and there's endless black, just a black void, and you're thinking about every single scary ocean movie like Jaws, The Meg, whatever, The Abyss, all those scary movies, right? And you think about all this things that could be down there. You can't help but going through your head, so it's kind of freaky. And then you finish, and you put your mask back on, and I took a big breath, and I went down, and I opened my eyes in my mask in the darkness with my flashlight, and I saw, like right in front of me, this huge eyeball, like about the size, I don't know, of a saucer, like this big, staring, unblinking right at me, and I freaked out. I just tore off for the pool, for the moon pool and the habitat. I jumped in there. I surfaced. I'm screaming, and my crew come running, thinking I've been bit by a shark or something. And I'm like, giant fish. And
What was it?
It was a Goliath grouper.
Oh, I've seen those things before. They're enormous.
Size of a cow. It's like
hundreds and hundreds of pounds, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah, those things could literally eat a person.
Yeah. It was big enough, that's for sure. And so just the sight of it scared the heck out of me.
So where were you? Were in the Atlantic?
Yeah.
How far away were you from like Florida? Like where were you at?
We were just off the coast of Key Largo.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Like they live down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an enormous fish, man.
Huge.
I've seen videos of people catching them off of boats, and it seems surreal. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's one.
It's like a giant largemouth bass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like. Like if you go bass fishing, they're so similar to bass, like in the way they look.
Yeah, now imagine like...
Jesus Christ, look at that thing.
Yeah. Imagine like being eye to eye with that thing in the middle of the dark Atlantic with no scuba tank.
They're delicious too, I bet. Like I don't know if they taste as good as regular grouper.
I wasn't gonna. So you get a different. Yeah, I wasn't gonna find out.
Look at the mouth on that thing. Good Lord.
I'll tell you another quick story about down there. So I went out for a night dive once, and I spent the beautiful thing about saturation diving like this is you can do basically infinite time, bottom time. You're not limited to like 60 minutes. You can stay out there for 6 hours, whatever. So I was not doing this night dive, and I found this beautiful shrimp, and it was just spectacularly gorgeous. It was like translucent. You could see through it. You could see its organs move, like internal organs, like doing their thing. And I stared at it for at least like an hour. Just held my light on it and just sat there and stared at it. And it was really beautiful. And I come back inside the habitat, and I'm kind of hungry. And the best space food we got is shrimp cocktail. And I pulled that thing off the shelf, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. Then I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
You felt bad because you just saw
bad.
the shrimp? Wow.
I ate it the next day.
The next day.
Yeah.
But for that day, though, you really felt bad.
I felt bad.
Wow. Grouper, you would have felt bad? Like a nice grouper sandwich? You
It
ever have a
scared
nice
me. So
grouper
I think
sandwich in
I would have
Florida?
been okay with that after. It's because it was.
Yeah, I wonder if they've ever eaten people. Because it seems like they could, they swallow giant fish. It seems like if you're not a large person, they might be able to just suck you right in there. You know?
See, now if this happens to me again, I'm gonna be even more freaked out.
I feel like I've read that grouper have bitten people before.
Yeah.
Like probably trying them out. Like if they get hungry, if you're that big, you probably have to eat so much.
Yeah, just nonstop. Yeah, buffet for those guys, and yeah.
So when you're down there and you're doing all the swimming, you're using a rebreather?
No,
You're using tanks, regular
tanks.
scuba tanks? And what is the capacity of these tanks? Like how long can you stay down just swimming around for?
We have two, and we can isolate them in case one of them springs a leak. But you don't have that much more time than a standard scuba tank. But we have is refill stations all around the floor with high pressure hoses. So we have these quick disconnects on our system that you can plug in and fill it right back up, and then you're good to go for another couple hours.
So when you swim to go take a poo, you have to do that? You have to wear the tank, or do you just hold your breath?
Just hold your breath. You're not going that far.
How far are you going?
Like 15 feet or so.
In total pitch black.
Yeah. There is a light on the gazebo, but that's all.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Thanks for inviting me. This is awesome.
I've seen a bunch of videos online of you talking about space and your dream of being an astronaut as a young man. And what is it like just to see the Earth from above and to be? You lived up there for like what, 95 days?
95 days, which actually is kind of a bummer, to be honest with you, because you know this if you saw that video maybe. But
yeah.
The thing is, if you stay for 100 days, they give you a patch, right? And I'm at day 95, and the Space Shuttle Discovery shows up to bring me home, and Mark Kelly was the commander. He goes, "Garrett, it's time to hop in and come home." And I'm like, man, I just need 5 more days
to get that patch.
Can't we just go around a few more times or something? And didn't work.
It seems like 95 days should be enough, man. Give the man a patch.
Right. How much does a patch cost?
What's the longest anybody stayed up there?
The longest for an American was Scott Kelly's, nearly a year in space, as longest in a row, basically. But it was a Russian that stayed up there for longer than a year, and he has the all-time record.
When they come back, like what is 90 days like coming back? Because I've talked to people who've gone there. When they come back, their balance is all off, the equilibrium's all screwy.
You're kind of messed up, and your vestibular system is what's affected the most. At least that's what's most noticeable when you first get back. Actually, the first thing I noticed, let me back up, is how heavy things were again. So I took off my helmet and I was holding it in my hand, and it felt like I was holding the anchor to the USS Nimitz. It's like I'm like, how am I ever going to brush my teeth? It'd be like too arduous.
Does your body severely weaken in 95 days?
Well, back in the day, back when I was going there, so that mission, my long-term mission was back in 2008. And back then, we were still losing bone density and muscle mass as we're going up there. You lost about 1% of bone every month. So I was about 3% low.
They don't anymore?
They don't anymore, because we found out, we came up with better countermeasures to prevent that.
What are the countermeasures?
It's basically working out. And it's resistive exercise that does it for you, which we knew back when I was going, but the problem was we had we had this machine that was kind of a first generation of the workout machine, and it could do large reps but low load. So you're doing like a lot of reps at low weight, and that helped. But what helps, it turns out we found this out kind of by happenstance, but it turns out that high load, low reps works much better. And so we got this new machine that you could really crank it up to 11. And the guys now that are working out on that thing are coming home with no muscle or bone loss at all.
Wow, that's because what's the Canadian gentleman that we had on? Yes, Chris Hadfield. When Commander Hadfield came back, I believe he said it took him a whole year to recover.
Yeah, I mean that was still kind of in the early days. So he I don't know which machine he used. He probably did use a new one. But overall, it does take, to get everything back, to get your full vestibular system back, your sense of balance, to get all your bone, all your muscle back to baseline. It took me a year to get all that back, too.
Wow.
It's kind of like rehabbing from a major sports injury.
That's got to be so strange. Your body just wants to shrivel up when you're up there because there's no gravity.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's an adaptation, and the body is incredible. So what it's doing is it's realizing, hey, I don't have to carry my own weight anymore. So why do I need this big bulky skeleton? Right?
Ah, wow.
It's like you're becoming kind of like a fish, where you're shedding all the bone density. Because you don't have to. Your body realizes I don't need it. It's like a fish in water. How fish have very slender bones.
That's an interesting way to look at it, like a fish.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we fight it by working out.
And how often do you have to work out? Every day?
Every day.
Every day. How often? Like how much time?
They schedule 2 hours. Now you're not on the machine
Wow.
for 2 hours, so it's also prepping. You're getting changed and cleaning up afterwards. But so you're working out a good hour every day.
What is it like to sweat in space?
It's weird because what happens is if you don't notice, like in the beginning, you don't even realize it, but it's all building up. And even without, like, if you have no hair to soak it up, it just builds up like this thin film of water on your head, like a coating of water.
Ah.
And you don't even notice it because it doesn't run down. And then somebody calls your name and you're like, yeah, and then
Oh, that's crazy. I never even thought of that. So it just kind of floats off your body.
yeah, it's like a dog shaking itself, and it just goes everywhere. And
So if you have it on your arm, you can kind of just go whoosh, and the sweat will go flying.
your crewmates won't be too happy with you if you do this a lot, but yeah,
Wow. Oh, is there video of people doing that in space?
there's got to be.
There should be.
We've shot
right?
so much video. Somebody's got to have done that, but
So are you basically doing like compound movements like deadlifts and squats and things along those lines?
yeah, functional fitness kind of stuff. And you're focusing on certain areas. So the bone loss comes mostly from your legs because you're not loading. So basically, our bones need a stimulus to regenerate, and it happens to us every day. So as you walk, as you go upstairs, that load that the bones feel, the compressive load, is telling the bone, "Hey, make some more." Now you take that away, and the bone stops making more, and that's the problem. People say, like, can't you just like calcium pills? But it's not a mineral deficiency.
It's just a load.
It's no load.
That's interesting. The body adapts so quickly.
Yeah.
That 90 days it has such a. And if you didn't do anything for 90 days at all, you'd be in real trouble, right?
Yeah, that's what's really kind of freaky is thinking about, like, well, what if we don't fight this? Because all these adaptations you go through are not a problem when you're in space. It's only a problem if you want to come home,
Right.
right? Losing that bone, even like not using your vestibular organs anymore, your semicircular canals, your otolith organs, you're not making use of those for your balance. You're just going purely on the visual. What that does initially is it make you kind of sick. You get it's like being airsick or seasick. But once your body adapts, you're fine. So the question is, like, what would we become if we didn't fight it? What if we just went with it and stayed up there?
Be like a water balloon. What would you become, right?
You become, actually, the place I think in science fiction that gets it the most correct is if you watch The Expanse. You ever watch that show?
No, I heard it's a really good show. I never got into it, though.
It's good, and they get it right because they show people like these belters that live in partial gravity like their whole lives, and they have much more slender bones.
Oh.
And like they catch this like terrorist guy, and they want to torture him, and all they do is they make him stand up in gravity on Earth, and it's incredibly painful for him. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, that would probably be what would happen.
And it must take a long ass time to get everything back. If you went from Earth gravity to the space station and you lived up there for a year and didn't do anything about it and then came back to Earth, I mean, you'd basically be like, it would be hard to crawl, right?
Yeah, you would all your if you don't try to fight it, the vestibular stuff would come back probably about the same rate, but you would be really hurting with your muscle atrophy and your bone. So you would lose a lot of your skeleton if you're up there for a year and did nothing. And you would also, all your muscles that you don't use, like in your legs and your postural muscles, so in your lower back, you're not using those anymore. So they would just like waste away to nothing. You'd be okay in your arms because you're doing everything. Everything you do is with your arms. That's how you move. That's how you get around, is by pulling and pushing. But you don't. There's no walk-in. There's no stairs. There's nothing.
Does it affect the way you think at all?
You know, some people describe a kind of an issue with short-term memory. They call it like space brain. And
Boy, is that a small group of people that would understand what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got space brain. Bro, I got that too.
oh yeah, So it's something that I never really noticed it, but I don't know how much of that is real and how much is like you're freaking out because you're in space, right? So it's distracting and maybe you forget like what that number was you're supposed to remember. But like if you're really in the middle of something and you're all excited and you kind of can't remember somebody's phone number, it's kind of like that.
Oh, okay. So it's just, well, I would imagine that just being up there breathing that recirculated air, it's got to be odd, right?
Yeah, and it might stink, but I don't know. Because the other thing that happens is you have this big fluid shift. So right now, we have a lot of blood pooling up in our legs, and our heart, its most important job, of course, is to feed the brain oxygenated blood. And then when you take the gravity vector out of the picture, the heart sends too much up to the brain, and the stuff doesn't collect in our legs anymore, and it all shoots up here, and you get the shift of all that blood volume to your upper body, and your head gets all puffed up.
Whoa.
Yeah, like my first night in space, I went to sleep, which was kind of hard to do because you're in space. You don't want to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And on that first night, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I could have sworn I was standing on my head doing a headstand or a handstand. I'm like, why am I standing on my head in my sleep? This is strange, right? And then I looked out the window, I saw the Earth. I'm like, oh, that's right, I'm in space.
So all the blood was just kind of pooling in your head.
Yeah.
As if you're like hanging by gravity boots or something.
It feels exactly like that.
Wow.
And then after a day or two, you get used to it and it doesn't bother you anymore, but you feel congested because you still have all this volume up here. So your sense of smell and your sense of taste are all deadened.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like, so it's kind of like when you have a cold and your sense of smell and your sense of taste are like not as strong. So it's like that all the time. That's why we have every hot sauce known to humankind up on the space station.
Oh,
We
really?
got like sriracha, we got Louisiana Cajun fire sauce and all whatever. We got like a whole stockpile of it because you pour that on everything so you can get some taste. Because otherwise everything tastes really bland.
Oh, wow. Now, what are you eating up there?
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it freeze-dried foods mostly? Or?
Yeah. You don't go for the food, all right? This is not like a foodie holiday. It's like... so you got basically two choices. You have the American food, which is essentially MREs, like military freeze-dried, irradiated, infinite shelf life kind of stuff. And then the Russian food is also based on their military rations, but from submarines. And the Russian food actually tastes better, but the problem is one of presentation because it comes in cans. So you get these cans, and even though it tastes good, you open that can up and you look at it, and it's like, God, it looks like dog food.
It's like congealed and...
Yeah.
But it tastes better.
Like, it tastes better, but it's just like so unappetizing when you open that can up and, it's just not...
What would happen if you brought fresh things up there? Would they rot at the same rate that they would rot in America?
Well, yeah. The thing is, we have no refrigeration. We didn't when I was there. They actually have a small refrigerator now, so you can't have anything that needs to be refrigerated. But you would usually, like, for the first couple of days, we'd take a bag of fresh food, and we took like sandwiches and fruits and vegetables and stuff. And then, because that's the last time you're going to have it. And after that, it's all going to be just the stuff in the packets that you add water to.
Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is still in early access, but dozens of mods have already
I've played the absolute f***ing shit out of Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. In the two it's a bit basic at the moment. This mod adds more body sliders, a few more hair colours, different eyebrow styles, and a few other bits and pieces which you can fully utilise to have more control over how you look in-game. Aesthetics are always